Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 28 of our All the Mods 9 to the Sky Let's Play series, where today, we are working on getting ourselves up to the Afrit tier, or the Merid tier, whatever you want to call it, in Occultism. We go through the absolute hardest boss fight that we've ever had in any Minecraft series that I've ever played. It was actually pretty tough taking out that Afrit, but yeah, we get it done, so let's get started. Mic test 1 2 1 2. Mic test 1 2 1 2. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful night here in the world of TheAndrata. Where today, we are going to continue off where we left last episode. We were working towards getting enchanting going and gearing ourselves up to be able to fight the Afrit from Occultism. So that's where we're at today. And we're going to fight that Afrit, and we're going to take him out, and we're going to do the thing. So let's dive on in and get started with it. So in between episodes, as I had mentioned, I was going to work on getting ourselves enchanting set up and getting our gear enchanted. So I did. Configured things a little bit differently, not terribly too much changed over here. I added some essence over here so I don't have to worry about going in and out of my inventory to grab the essence and stuff. But yeah, Enchanter, as we learned last episode, is fantastic. What's really fantastic, though, is the Apotheosis Enchantment Library, because it allows you to do a lot of crazy things. Combining that with a anvil upgrade in your backpack to make it so you can upgrade things, plus an enchantment applicator, we got a lot going on for us, okay? You can tell I used a bit of experience. We have 99 levels. How much did we have before? 108. But I remember the higher the level is, the more experience it actually takes. So we used about 200 buckets, it looks like. A little less than 200 buckets of essence overall for enchanting. But if we take a look at our stuff, we're going to be pretty darn overpowered. So helmet, chest plate, leggings, and boots. Now you're going to notice on all of these that my protection is only capped out at protection 4 instead of 5 like we used to have previously. So when we take a look at, for example, protection, if we look at protection, you're going to notice that the color of the text changes colors, right? So if we have protection 1, the color of protection 1 is gray, protection 2, gray, protection 3, gray, protection 4, gray, but as soon as we go to 5, it changes to that blue color. And I believe that when it's in that blue color, it is added by Apotheosis. It is an enchant above and beyond standard vanilla's enchant levels. And when I would set up books for that, so if I were to come over here and I were to get protection, first things first, one thing that is fantastic about this enchantment library is that I can have protection on here. I can then come in here and add mending to that book. It doesn't cost any experience to combine books. That saved so much experience just being able to combine books inside of this thing. It made things so easy. I could build the exact enchants that I wanted on one book, and it doesn't cost that in the XP increase. Because, when you are enchanting things, if you have a book and you're trying to put the other enchants onto a book. So if I have one book here, and let's say this book, and I wanted to add efficiency to this book, it's going to cost experience to do so, right? And every time you do that, it goes up in cost. So if I were to do this and put it on there, it costs 5 levels. Well, then I take this book that has efficiency, mending, and unbreaking and say I want to come add on, I don't know, something else. It doesn't really matter. But I'm adding on Soulbound, and I add Soulbound onto this. Well, now instead of 5 levels, it's going to cost 8 levels or whatever. And it keeps increasing in cost as you combine items. By utilizing the enchantment library, you do not have that cost. And so when you get an enchanted book, for example, what's on my sword, which is sharpness 9, scavenger 3. Well, I actually lost a level of sharpness there. I thought I used to have sharpness 10. Anyway, looting 5, sweeping edge 7, capturing 5, mystical enlightenment 3, and soulbound. I combined all of those enchants inside of here by just going through and selecting them and doing the thing, and then pulling out a book, and all it cost was 69 levels in order to do so. Now, 69 levels does seem like a lot, but if you've ever done massive enchanting like this with these modified enchantments that cost a lot of experience, something like this, a sword like this, would normally cost 200 plus levels, because you have to combine all those enchants onto one book in the in an anvil, and then the enchantment applicator can't apply all those enchants because it costs more than the 64 buckets of essence worth that it can hold. And so you have to use an anvil. So you're looking at like 200 plus odd levels in order to do so. The enchantment library, made that so cheap. Enchantment applicator, though, does not allow you to apply the blue enchants. So all of my armor, I didn't realize this until I had gotten through to the end of my armor. I had books that had protection 5 on them, but when I ran it through the enchantment applicator, it downgraded it to protection 4. I'm okay with that. It's not that big of a deal, but just something to keep in mind. If you want to keep your blue enchants, the higher tiers, you're going to have to use an anvil to apply them. The enchantment applicator will not work for that. But anyway, yeah, so we've got Soulbound, Unbreaking, Mending, and Protection 4 on all 4 pieces of armor. And then some of them have mana boost. We've got Air Affinity. Our chest plate has Berserker's Fury, Curse of Bones, and Reach. And then it's just miscellaneous enchants throughout. Like we're doing pretty decently here. And then on top of that, we have our sword, as we talked about. I went ahead and made a Supremium sword because I was looking through all of our sword options. And outside of like getting the Automodium or Unobtainium, Supremium seems to be the best when it comes to attack damage. It's 24 attack damage for Supremium, whereas Unobtainium itself is only 3.8. However, the attack speed on Unobtainium is significantly better, but hey, whatever. We have haste. We attack pretty fast. The next tier up would be Awakened Supremium, and we're not there, but that's what that Mystical Enlightenment enchant on here. If I kill a Wither or Ender Dragon, I can get that Cognizant Dust, which will allow me to do Awakened Supremium and stuff like that. But yeah, take that and throw some enchants on it. We could get augments on there too, but like, again, I don't necessarily know what augments go on there, just like with our bow. And then our bow is enchanted with Infinity, Power 8, Quick Draw, and Soulbound. So now it just pulls back faster, and it's Infinity, and it just does more damage. But yeah, so that's where we're at. The other thing that I worked on in between episodes was setting ourselves up a drawer wall. I went ahead and was looking through during all of that enchanting. And if you remember, we had left off and we ended up with 2,100 slots. By the time I finished all that enchanting, which was only maybe about an hour or so, we were up to 3,000 of our slots because of like the essence, how fast we have these essences going now. It was just filling up. So I went ahead and made a drawer wall, standard drawer wall from functional storage, nothing super special here. Compacting drawers for all of the things that can turn from nuggets to ingots to blocks, and then standard 4x4 drawers for everything else that doesn't necessarily need to be compacted. Link up a storage bus to that and set it as a high priority so it tries to shove everything into there before shoving it into the system, and you are golden. On each of these, I went ahead and put 3 diamond upgrades because, I mean, we have the diamonds. 3 diamond upgrades, which allows every slot here to hold 7.1 million of its requisite material, and then void upgrades after that. I don't think we're going to need more than 7 million of any one thing over there. And then over here, it's the same thing, but it's for the block of emerald, or like for our blocks of copper, it's 7.1 million. For our emeralds, it's the compressed blocks, 7.1 million. So we can hold 573 million emeralds. We're going to be pretty dang good. Like, I don't see us having any issues in that regard, storage wise. So yeah, we've got that going on for us now. So nothing too crazy with that. Outside of that, that was pretty much all I did. And it was just to clear the storage. Now, today we are going to work on getting ourselves up to the tier 4 dimensional storage stabilizers. And I realize now that I set up a drawer wall, it's kind of sort of pointless. We don't necessarily need it, but I'm still going to set it up anyway because I'd like to see how much storage you get from tier 4. And I mean, we're already on this path, so we might as well continue. So let's get it done, okay? So in order to get the tier 4 dimensional storage stabilizer, we have to kill an Afrit, as we know. And in order to kill an Afrit, we have to summon an unbound Afrit. We're going to need netherrack, we're going to need gunpowder, we're going to need flint and steel, and we're going to need nether quartz, all of which I do have right here. So we have, now this is the correct ritual, right? No, it's this one. So do those not look exactly the same? Those rituals look exactly the same. By the way, since I was doing enchanting, I went ahead and put mending and unbreaking on these guys too. Those look the same, and I feel like I may have messed this up at some point. I may have clicked the wrong thing. We need Abra's open can conjure. Abra's open conjure. Yeah. But didn't I go up to the next tier? No. Let's just go ahead and see. If I break this and then I bind that there, I mean, we're good. It says everything's good. I guess they just look very similar. Okay. I'm not going to complain. Let's go ahead and get all this stuff going. There. Then we're going to need to get our Book of Binding Afrit and bind it up. And if we go ahead and place this in there, it's going to start summoning the Unbound Afrit, and you're going to see it's waiting. And nothing's going to happen because in order to summon the Afrit, we have to sacrifice a cow. So we got to go get a cow. Luckily, the Andrata saw that in between episodes and was like, "Okay, let's get a cow going." So I got a cow, more than one. I went ahead and set up a feeding trough over here from cooking with blockheads. The trough that I used at the beginning of the series is no longer in here. That was from Quark. So I don't have access to that, but I do have access to this one, which kind of sends out that blast radius of feeding, which I kind of like anyway. So we have a bunch of cows. I went from 2 to this many. And then I went ahead and made mob imprisonment tools because they're better than the yoinkers because I don't have to shift click to get them, and shift clicking is a pain. Anyway, so we got to come over here, and all we have to do is boop, kill the cow, and you're going to see all the stuff's going to get sucked in, and then we've got an Afrit to kill. And that was actually much easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought that was going to be a harder boss, which is why I over-prepared for it. That guy died in 2 hits. I don't even know how much health he had because he died so fast. That's funny. Okay, well, in order to get the next step, we're going to need to get ourselves red chalk. So we need the impure red chalk, which is going to require white chalk, apparently, which means we need otherworld ashes, which means I need otherworld wood. I don't need to smelt all of that, but let's go ahead and do this. And everything's over here, right? Yeah. I could automate this, by the way, if you get a dropper or something and then like a modular router to do your pickups and then push it back into a pattern processor, you can automate that, but not a big deal. White chalk. Now, for the red chalk, do I need impure? Like that's going to work? Yeah. So then I throw this into the fire. And we have red chalk. And you're going to notice that I had a Book of Binding, or an enchanted book with Mending and Unbreaking. So we can just go ahead and do that. And there we go. Now we don't have to worry about it breaking anytime. I just come over here and turn on my XPinator if I need to heal up my chalks. Okay, so that being said, now we can go ahead and get into the next tier of things, which is going to be get Ufix's Inverted Tower, the final tier of this chain of enchants. I don't know, or I'm sorry, pentacles. I don't know what that tier would be called, but it's the final version of this line. We'll go ahead and shift click that. And now we can see we are going to need just the red chalk, really. We don't necessarily need anything super special. Red chalk and... sorry, I lost what the name of those were. Wither skeleton skulls. No. Man, that just erased that chalk too. Let's get the white chalk. Put it back. Okay. So now we just need to get our wither skeleton skulls. So if I face them, I make sure that I face them correctly. Otherwise, they'll be turned, and that's just going to drive me crazy. So I want to make sure that I am standing on the block. And then we just got to go around and not do that. I stepped up onto this skull, and it made me miss. Pain. Okay, so yeah, we just need to red chalk it up. And then we can go ahead and get the next tier, the tier 4 storage stabilizers. And just to see how much they get us. Now, ideally, I would put this into here, but it would require me to rearrange all this to make room. So I'll just put it there for now and deal with it later. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what this is going to take to get us to the next tier. I could probably break 2 of these. I could probably break 3 of these. I could probably break 4 of these. 4 was a little bit too much. I don't want my inventory to get all jammed up because I broke that many. So let's just go ahead and put that back. And there we go. We're good. And since I'm doing this, let's go ahead and get all these set up. That's set up intentionally because I don't want it to take the look of this block. And then there we go. Now I can place all my stuff back down. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these guys crafted. So in order to get the next tier of these going, we have two routes, right? We can go ahead and go with the route that requires shulker shells, end rods, and dragon's breath, or we can go ahead and go the dragon head route. Dragon heads are craftable. We have dragon essence. We can make blank skulls super simply. So yeah, I went the dragon head route. I mean, why not? So all we got to do is throw this stuff in there with a Merid Book of Binding, and we should be good to go. We need 5, this, and yeah, okay. So we go ahead and do this, and there's 2 of these, and then get the book, and we should get the next tier of storage stabilizer. Come on, you got this, and boom, storage stabilizer. So I'm going to do that 5 more times, and we'll come back and see how much essence we end up getting. And with that, we have 4 + 1 storage stabilizers. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we got. So from one of these tier 4 dimensional storage stabilizers, we get 2,176 storage slots. Remembering that the dimensional storage actuator gets us 512 by default, right? So if we calculate that, 2176 minus 512, 1,664 is what that's getting us. Now, is 512 what that actually gets us? That number just seems weird, 1,664. It's not a base 2 number or anything like that, so it does seem odd, but we got 2176 out of that. I'm not going to complain. 2 gets you 4,224. 3 gets us over where we were with the tier 4s. So we're now at 6,272. Remember with tier 4, we had capped out at about 5,000. A 4th one gets us to 8,320. And if it's 1664, this should get us 9,984. Nope. So I have no idea how much that actually gets us each time. But anyway, we got about 10,000 slots available to us, and we're only using 1,000. And yeah, we're doing pretty good. I don't know why these iron nuggets are showing up in here, and blaze powder or amethyst shards. All of these things should be going into the drawer. It is kind of funky sometimes. You know what it is? I know what it is. It's because I have these things going directly into the stable wormhole, so it's bypassing AE, so they're not going into here at all. How could I fix that? You know what I could do is if I get a stable wormhole and I get a pipe upgrade, we can go ultimate pipe upgrade. I get a stable wormhole and I export from the stable wormhole into this drawer controller. It will only be able to export the items that are inside of this. I need to actually to make this look nice, I need to do that. And then that. Okay, so now it'll pull items out of here into the storage controller, but since I have all of the drawers locked, it's not going to be able to put in items that aren't actually in there. So now if we go ahead and look at, what was it I was looking at? Oh, it was the dimensional storage actuator. But if I look in here, now we're going to see those iron nuggets are gone. The blaze powder is gone. The amethyst shards are gone. Everything is out of there that doesn't need to necessarily be in there. It's all exporting into here. Where that will become a problem is if I need to unlock one of these drawers, because then it's going to just start shoving stuff into the drawer. So I need to make a mental note to myself if I need to unlock a drawer. I don't know why I would need to unlock a drawer. It would only be if I accidentally put my sword in there or something. But if I do need to unlock it, I need to disconnect this before that happens. But now we are good. Now how many slots do we end up using? 1,180. So we actually went down even a little bit more. And then, yeah. And then, I mean, honestly, I could even take out we currently have 2,000 dirt and gravel and flint and cobblestone. I could take that stuff out and put that into a drawer. If I really wanted to. I mean, I have the drawers, so I guess it doesn't really make too much of a difference, does it? Skulk Shriekers can come out, Netherwort can come out, Gas Tears can come out. Yeah, I think that's good. And then I can shove these things. Now, cobblestone can get compressed, right? If I do 9 cobblestone, do I need compressed cobblestone for anything? Would that be worth putting in a compression drawer? Usage on you. It doesn't look like it's used for anything. Yeah, honestly, I think I can just shove this into a regular drawer. I don't have to worry about it. So if I come over here and shove this into a regular drawer, you're going to see it's going to fill up with all 2,000 or whatever it was that was in our inventory over in that other thing that we had over there. So everything's going to get pulled over, just like I said, and we're sitting pretty chill. And I still have that open slots available if needed. And if I want to pull anything else out, easy to do so. I don't think I necessarily need to, looking at that, but I could if I wanted to, if anything becomes an issue. Again, I don't see there being any issues though. So yeah, we got drawer wall going, we got tier 4, we got Afrit essence, we got cows, we got all kinds of stuff going on, which sets us up for success for the rest of the pack. Really, like between those two, we're not going to need to deal with storage. And the beautiful thing is I didn't have to get into any AE2 discs at all, so I don't have to worry about storage types and all that stuff. Like, beautiful. So in between episodes, I said I was going to do something. I can't remember what that was. So it is what it is. But next episode is when we're going to start working on getting ourselves into the Modium. I know I definitely need to get these Supreme machine frames going at some point in order to get into some stuff. Do I really need these? Honestly, I'm not making a Wither builder, because I can craft Nether Star, so I don't need a Wither builder. And unless I really want to get into the industrial foregoing generator thing, or like these max int black hole units, which are not necessarily that like important, TBH, I don't think I really need to get into the highest tier. Maybe we just won't worry about it. I do need to get into ether gas though for other crafts. Honestly, do I need ether gas usage? Infinity Nuke, Supreme Machine Frame, Mycelial Reactor. Honestly, I don't really need to get into ether gas either. It looks like I don't need to necessarily milk the Wither. I'm probably going to, just because, I mean, it finishes out industrial foregoing. So maybe that's what we'll do next episode, is just set up a Wither milker. And then like, that's going to be it. Question with that is, I can't remember, do these work cross-dimensionally? That's going to determine whether we can set up a Wither milker. We're going to have to test that out next episode. If they can work cross-dimensionally, great. I think maybe I need to get another binding card. I don't know. We're going to have to look into it. Anyway, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate it, and it really does help out the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next one. Have a good one.